Hey guys, welcome to our first video as two Baka Talks. I'm Sai.
And I'm Rotoprism, and today we're talking about why we think you should watch Fire Force Season 1. So without further ado, welcome to our 10 reasons you should watch this heated anime.
The points given are just our opinion. This video also contains minor spoilers for the anime. You have been warned.
Number 1. The intro scene. What better place to start than the intro scene? Fire Force holds no punches as we're immediately introduced to the MC, quickly followed by the 8th Company, who are a special firefighting team who have come in to kick some ass. As the burning train cart pulls into the station, we get our first look at an Inferno, which are the main danger in this world, but we'll cover more on them later. Back to our scene. As people are running from the monster, we see the 8th begin their approach. As their priestess begins her prayer to end the suffering of the Inferno, the rest of the team take action with us seeing the use of specialty equipment and a huge fireball stopped by nothing more than a pair of hands, while an armored brute charges for it with a pile driver to land the killing blow. As soon as it's delivered, there's immediate tranquility to the scene as the prayer is heard along with the sign-off, La Tom. This all took place within the first 3 minutes. Honestly, if you haven't seen Fire Force yet, just spare it 3 minutes and you'll be hooked.
Number 2. Shinra Kusakabe. Shinra, who is our MC, shows us how awesome he is just after the 3-minute mark. After quickly defeating the lone Infernal, Company 8's priestess is in line to be hit by falling debris. Shinra spots this and immediately takes action, moving at insane speeds by shooting fire from the bottom of his feet. We soon find out that Shinra is what's known as a third generation. This means he can generate fire from his body, in Shinra's case, the soles of his feet, giving him the ability to move at incredibly fast speeds, even being able to fly with the use of this power. As the season progresses, he becomes capable of moving so fast that he even breaks the sound barrier. He has a unique fighting style that often looks more like breakdancing than any martial art, but this allows him to deliver devastating blows while keeping extremely mobile. And let's be honest, if you saw someone approach him with flames coming out the feet and this smile, wouldn't you feel safe?
Number 3. The sound. After witnessing the first scene, we have already gained a real appreciation for the sound team who managed to perfectly immerse us into each scene with their amazing work. Whether it's the fire's sounds setting the ambience by crackling in the background, the screeches of the infernals sending a chill down your spine, or my personal favorite being the boom accompanying Shinra's kick, which delivers the power of the kick to the viewer. I mean, just listen to this. Don't you feel the power? The choice of music is also something not to be ignored. The second intro song called Mayday by Cold Rain was a perfect choice, matching the setting and pace of this anime so well. Cold Rain are not super well known for making anime songs, but some of you may recognize the name as they did the first ED for Hajime no Ippo, New Challenger. So the 3 or 4 Ippo fans out there can rejoice that their favorite anime was finally good for something.
Number 4. The animation. Now if you're not already glued to your screens after the first 3 minutes, you will be after seeing the other spectacular scenes that happen in the first season. Even episode 1 has more to give us. Towards the end of the episode, a new more powerful Infernal appears, and we get to sit back and take in the exciting artwork as the scene before you is radiant with powerful fire, great combat, and excellent background art that ties everything together. Amongst all the action, the animators make sure to keep our heroes visible, with the blue stripes glowing throughout the fray, adding a real sense of security to each fight scene. We also get treated some amazing choreography throughout the anime. The animators clearly take time to make each scene feel as natural as possible, with Shinra's ability being particularly fluid in its animation. From hand-to-hand combat, weapons and martial arts, each of the fight scenes are a thrill to watch. The animation team definitely deserve a pat on the back for this one. Is there a scene that comes to mind when you think about the animation? Let us know in the comments.
Number 5. Arthur Boyle. From awesome animation to awesome character, Arthur Boyle, the self-described King Knight, is a plasma sword-wielding badass, which he of course calls Excalibur. This character clearly draws inspiration from the legendary fictional British king, but with one clear difference between the two, and that is that this Arthur is a fucking idiot. Have you ever tried writing with your offhand? You notice immediately. But not Arthur, he literally fights for several minutes using his offhand before he realizes. And not because he notices it feels wrong in his hand, but because he is getting his ass kicked as he doesn't feel quote unquote knightly. This is especially important for him as his power level scales with how much he feels he is a knight. These delusions do get him in trouble quite often though. An early example can be seen when he refers to one of his teammates as an ogre. He is then promptly beaten by said ogre, and despite his lacking mental facilities, he has an almost supernatural ability to see through deception, which is oddly seen most clearly when he knees a young girl in the face. Why did he do this? Well, I guess you'll have to watch to find out.
Number 6. The Captain Burns Spar. Now that you're familiar with Shinra and Arthur, let's talk about Captain Burns of Company 1. During a work experience event arranged between Company 8 and 1, alongside a few others, Shinra and Arthur were both sent to Company 1. While there, Burns hosted a sparring match between his company and the visiting companies. As the other company's trainees had their one-to-one spars, it came down to just Shinra and Arthur left. Burns decided he was going to take both of them on at the same time. the power that we've already seen from Shinra and Arthur, this was such a hype moment. Burns tells them both to fight with everything they have, and quips that Arthur need not worry about cutting him, as his flame just isn't hot enough. The confidence of this man! And then, just like he said, he casually blocks Arthur's plasma sword with just his bare hand. He then extinguishes Arthur's sword as Shinra comes charging into the fight, landing blow after blow with such power that it's literally shaking the arena. But in the end, Burns is just stood there with a scorched hole in his shirt, and ends the fight with a single step, which sends Shinra blasting away to land next to his defeated comrade. This scene was so incredible, and it's the first time we get to see just how strong a fire soldier can be, and you can bet there's going to be more insane fights like this with even stronger friends or foes to come.
Number 7. Benimaru Shinmon. Benimaru Shinmon, or Shinmon Benimaru as he prefers to be called, isn't like any other fire soldier we've seen. He's known as the strongest soldier within the Fire Force, but he describes his company as part of the Vigilante Corps and does not stand with the Empire nor the Church, choosing to act as he sees fit. He's also the only fire soldier we see able to wield both second and third generation abilities, with his weapon of choice being the Mato, which is a traditional Japanese Edo period tool used to alert people to fires. We see him using his abilities when destroying his town while laying infernos to rest. Whereas the other companies have their prayers, this is the Seventh's turf, and they see this destruction as a ritual to the person lost to human combustion. The respect this district has for Benimaru is immeasurable, and it is shown in one scene where, due to an imposter amongst his people, Benimaru tells his entire district to begin fighting each other. Without hesitation, everyone begins a district-wide brawl, and begin to celebrate, calling it a fighting festival. We also get to witness the insane power he wields when, due to a case of mistaken identity, he attacks Company 8, who are unable to do any damage to him. In fact, it would be safe to say Company 8's story would have ended there, had someone not stepped in. But we're not telling you who.
Number 8. The Vulcan Upgrades. We don't want to spoil any of Vulcan's scenes, so we're only going to tell you that he's known as the God of Fire and Smithing, and he's provided the 8th with some amazing gear. To begin with, he smiths Captain Obi new upgraded armor, along with a magnetic extinguishing grenade named the Iron Medillo, which is shown to put out fires in just a couple seconds. And all this is great, but what we really want to talk about is Maki's upgrade. Maki, also known as the Ogress, is a second generation with the ability to create fire spirits that she names Pussa Pussa, or in the dub, Sputter and Flare. She is shown to have great combat skills and easily defeats Shinra and Arthur in the introduction. She's blocked countless large fire attacks amongst other feats. But with her upgrade named Tekyo, or Iron Owls, Maki's second generation power can now be used to its full potential. By powering the Tekyos with Sputter and Flare, Maki now has control over what is described as 2 flying hammers. And with these, she's even more of a beast in battle than she used to be. Soon after acquiring them, Maki was cut off from the team and had to fight against a whole group of enemies on her own. But by using the Tekyo, she took down all the foes with ease. Watching these cute little flame balls provide a smackdown is honestly a sight to see.
Number 9. Captain Obi and Lieutenant Hinawa. All of the awesome action that we see the 8th Company getting into would not be possible if not for these two. Obi is a former firefighter, the regular kind, not the fighting monsters kind, and Hinawa is a former soldier. They met at the scene of an infernal outbreak, and after seeing the responding Fire Force Company caring more about acquiring points than actually putting the Infernos to rest, they took action, and together they take care of one of the Infernos deemed too low risk to prioritize for points. After this, they form Company 8. On top of putting Infernos to rest, they also investigate the other Fire Force companies for details on the cause of human combustion. Meaning they don't only have Infernos to worry about, but also some of the other Fire Force companies give these two, and the entire 8th Company, the cold shoulder. Hinawa is a second generation, and can use his ability to control the speed and direction of bullets, which pairs nicely with his military training. Obi, however, is a regular person with no fire-based powers. His strength comes from his dedication to training. It is hard to find a scene where this man is not doing some kind of insane exercise, and despite the very real threat that fire is to him, he does not hesitate for a second to take on that risk. Which to me makes him more of a hero than anyone else, because while the second and third generation also run into fires to fight monsters, they do it knowing they have some protection from the flames due to their powers, while Obi does it with just his gear and raw muscle power. What a man.
Number 10. The Villains. But what is a hero without villains to fight? In Fire Force, the first villains we see are the Infernals. These things are literally human torches, and they are not just terrifying because they cause a lot of destruction, but because anyone can turn into an Infernal at any time. This event is known as spontaneous human combustion. There is no way to escape human combustion. No matter how you live your life, it can always happen to you. Now, if randomly bursting into flames to go on a path of destruction wasn't scary enough, don't worry, as there's this lovely group of people known as the White Clad. They are a group of people who literally want to watch the world burn. Each member of this group is shown to have devastating abilities, with their mysterious leader having a plan that will lead the Earth to becoming a second sun.
Honorable mentions. Tamaki/Iris fight. Tamaki didn't make the list due to her lucky ledger lure, which if you've seen Fire Force already, you should know what that is. But basically, it causes her to get into a lewd situation for no reason, and often in the middle of combat, ruining the pacing of the scene. Some love it, some hate it, and we are of the latter. That being said, she isn't without her own awesome scenes, one being when she and Iris are separated from the rest of the team. Tamaki being a third generation with powers that give her the nimbleness of a cat, along with the twin tails and cat ears, stood her ground, and along with sister Iris, they lay a beating on a member of the White Cloud who had them cornered.
The humor. Along with its amazing story and fight scenes, Fire Force has some light-hearted humour, even in the middle of the action. From displaying Arthur as a paladin, only to realise his steed is just a donkey head on a stick. One of the first members speaking in such phrases as, "I bet even your crap is crap. Are you crappy, you crap?" which completely confuses Shinra and Arthur. Or Shinra's multiple superhero-like names, which he keeps branding himself, such as "Smash the Doctor's creepy nose in, man," or "Puts up with stuff that sucks, man." The writers have made sure to add some fun to the script, which honestly, we appreciate.
Summary. Overall, Fire Force is an amazing action shonen anime, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely give it a try. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed our list, then please give us a like and drop a comment on what anime we should cover next. Until next time, Latom.